little wait. Now, one thing we do have to be a wee bit careful of going forward, councillors, is because we've got a number of people away at some courses today, if we pop in and out for a coffee or a whatever, we're bordering on not having a quorum. So just be aware of it. If someone's out, don't you go out until they get back, just because it causes Katie grief. Okay.
Do the people online count for quorum?
Yes.
Oh, they do. There's heaps. 3 or 4. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Katie would know.
moving right along. Okay. Yep. So just going forward on the Gilberthorpe Road thing, on the basis of the new information presented today, the Chief Executive has withdrawn the paper about item 13, and staff will come back with further information on the use of the facility by the Filipino Church, the Men's Shed and others, and this will be done in time for the annual plan. So to save you waiting around for hours, I thought I'd let you know that now. Thank you. Alrighty, so we're into comboards. So we've got Lynn first.
Kia ora team. It's lovely to see you this morning. It's a bit later than we usually talk, so thanks for that. And there's a bunch to report on today, including 2 parties, so please hang in there with me. There's lots of words. They're important words, but they're words. So, firstly, we have 177 Pūrea Ave. The Community Board endorsed the proposed engagement approach, which will consider the proposal to transfer 177 Pūrea Ave to Te Hapu o Ngāti Whiki. In making this decision, the Board considered 5 deputations from locals in Diamond Harbour, residents of Pūrea, a member of the Pūrea Residents Association, and a representative from Te Hapu o Ngāti Whiki. The Board is happy to be serving as the hearings panel for the proposed transfer of 177 Pūrea Ave to Te Hapu o Ngāti Whiki, and we are looking forward to being involved in such an important decision for our community. There is good local interest in this proposal, and we are expecting a decent number of submissions. We also heard feedback on the engagement approach for this project and listened to the community's request to extend the consultation period. We agreed to a longer period that it would allow everyone ample opportunity to consider the proposal and form their responses. The Red House lease. We approved a lease of the Red House property on Takapuniki Reserve for a 2-year residential lease. We recommend that the current tenant remain in place at the Red House under an agreement that includes their continued help to maintain the property and gardens, which they've been doing very well at this to date. The Board was comfortable with the continuation of this arrangement as the significant gardens and landscape areas are being well attended, which would otherwise need to be contracted out. Community Managed Facilities Audit Report. We received an excellent and detailed audit report on 14 of our community managed council facilities on the Peninsula. These are much loved and often very old community assets. This report is super crucial in supporting our facility staff, helping them to prioritise their assets within the maintenance plans. It also provides a list of actions required to make the most of these important resources. The Community Development Advisors work closely with the committees, providing support for the activation of them as well. We feel this report is so useful, we have requested an update on the audit report's actions prior to the end of 24 to inform the Board's annual plan 25-26 submission. The hope is that good data and information at the planning stage will translate to good outcomes at the coalface. Always the hope. And our communities seem to be quite inspired by the facilities audit, as we heard deputation from Pigeon Bay Settlers Hall, Akuri Hall Committees, Allendale Reserve Committee and Birdlings Flat Community Centre. Recently, we received news that the Kaituna Hall is now under council management. Unfortunately, the reserve group, So you can see the hall right there with the arch windows. Unfortunately, the reserve group were finding it hard to get new members due to a declining local population, and they say they are getting a bit long in the tooth, so there is no capacity to form a trust to care for it. The historic hall building has been added to over the last 100 years, with many celebrations and events celebrated there over the 100 years. Some of the most recent reserve committee members have been serving for 30 odd years. Saying thank you to this group who has given time and cared for this hall for so long is the least we can do. They have our sincere thanks for their service over the years, but thankfully they'll continue to look after the Atahua domain. More decisions made under delegation. So we received minutes from 6 reserve committee meetings, approved an agreement for Akaroa Golf Club to lease land in Duvershall, approved the removal and replacement of trees on Duvershall Showgrounds Reserve, approved strengthening communities fund grants to the value of $173,000, leaving $35,000 available for the DRF for next year, and discretionary funding went to the Summer with Your Neighbours project 24-25, also to Anzac Day commemorations, and $500 to the Diamond Harbour and Surround Cat Rescue Group towards desexing costs. Whew, it's been a busy time. We heard public forums from the Little River Walkways Action Group and a local resident of Pūrau, as well as additional deputations from Pūrau resident regarding the Diamond Harbour Reserve Committee reserve schedule and Akaroa Golf Club about the proposed agreement of lease. So our 15 reserve committees on Banks Peninsula work with the Parks team to create a triennial plan that identifies their priorities and can be used to report on progress to support submissions to the LTP and annual plan. We received triennial plans from Diamond Harbour and Le Bons Bay reserve committees along with their reserve schedules. These documents define reserves, facilities and assets. They identify local community connections. They recognise user groups, organisations and local runanga with kaitiakitanga of the reserve. And to end with a flourish, Akaroa residents are delighted to have their post service reinstated, operating from the City Council Service Centre, which is very appropriately the Heritage Post Office building. This is a really important service for such an isolated community, and they felt the loss of it deeply over the last few weeks. So this is a huge win for us. Oh, and sorry, that was the last one, but now it's not. This morning I've heard conflicting info about progress on the Coronation Library in Little River. We understood that the project had been tendered and was ready to break ground any day. What I heard from staff this morning is that it still looks like it's out for tender, so the very patient Little River community is wanting clarification around this. It has been breaking ground for months now, so that would be great if we could ask for some clarification for that. Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, wonderful presentation, and you certainly haven't been sitting around doing nothing for the last month, have you? Just a question for me, the post office building, which is the post office going back into it, is there much other empty space in there now?
Great question.
Yep, I can respond to that. There's the old mail sorting room, which is being used by Three Waters staff. There is the community boardroom that uses the ground floor space, which together with the customer services desk and post entirely takes the ground floor up.
Great.
And upstairs has just been leased to a community organisation, a local trust, because they want to activate the building and get more community activity in there. It's not easy to use upstairs because there are really old heritage little narrow stairways to get up there, and it's obviously inaccessible, but they're going to have a really good go at doing that.
Oh, it's great to hear, because in the past the council spent quite a few bob doing it up, so it's very good to see that it's being used. Councillor Fields.
Thank you, Your Worship. And what a great outcome for Akaroa, that the post office there, and staff did an absolutely bang-up job there, I have to say, so kudos to them. So just on the Coronation Library, so that was supposed to open last April?
Yeah.
And so it's kind of, it's
It's a
seems
long
to be dragging
time. It's
along.
going on a
th-
year.
There's a
that-
lot of there are a lot of itchy sort of feet and in
Yes,
the
I do
river.
think that the on and offness of it has impacted potentially, feelings about how we work together with our community there as far as City Council. I just think.
I mean, it feels like a credibility issue almost really getting to now, a little
I
bit.
can't speak personally from them, but it's not good, is it? No.
Okay, all happy, Tyrone? All done? Tyrone.
Great.
Tyrone. All done? You're all done. Well, this is good to hear. Thank you very much. Very good presentation.
Thanks, Tim.
Okie doke. So now we have sprayed and